Welcome, FNUSA57 here. I'm back on my Xbox One, and today I'm bringing you yet another achievement guide. This video is going to be a 2-for-1 special. We are going to get the Companion Block achievement. Only use one Cinder Block and bring it to the end of the mission embedded. It's a 40 gamer score achievement with less than a 2% unlock rate. And we will also be showing you how to get the Play Dead achievement. Kill all enemies in the embedded field of dead bodies. This is a 25 gamer score achievement with less than a 3% unlock rate. So I have those two achievements already. I got them in testing, and I'm going to show you now how to unlock them. I'm going to skip ahead in the mission to the very first point where you need to pay attention from. But before that, it is extremely basic, just scripted dialogue, so don't really worry about that too much.
Our Russian troop commanders are in town today. We're going to ambush them.
How?
Now, as I mentioned earlier, I recommend doing this on a lower difficulty. You can do it on a higher difficulty. It's completely up to you. It'll just be a little bit harder for you. And I would recommend pausing the video if you don't want any spoilers, because this is the third mission in the game.
What kind of dirty work?
So at this point you need to pay attention, and you are going to be directed to split up and pick up a cinder block. You only have one cinder block to choose from up here, so you pick that up, and then you're just going to want to basically follow the pre-scripted path where you kind of just walk through carrying this wonderful cinder block. Now this cinder block is going to be your best friend, and you will need to bring this cinder block all the way to the end of the mission.
You're resourceful. Good.
At this point, it's going to show you how to drop the cinder block, but you don't want to drop the cinder block just yet. As long as this cinder block makes it to the very end of the game, and you do not touch another cinder block, you will be fine and you will get the achievement. However, if you fail to bring this cinder block to the very end of the mission, or you fail to avoid picking up any other cinder blocks, you will not get the achievement. So at this point you need to drop the cinder block and check for a oil filter. Several times that I have played through, it's always been in this van, which it's just kind of curious how it is the absolute perfect size to fit onto the threaded barrel of our pistol, but we're just going to ignore that for right now. This is a very simple operation. We'll leave the cinder block right where I left it. And then we need to neutralize these couple enemies.
You get two. I'll take the rest.
Alright, so once those are neutralized, we can go ahead and go back and pick up the wonderful cinder block again. At this point, you should have a decent selection of weapons, so you can drop your cinder block again. I recommend picking up the throwing knives and then taking a look at what weapon you might want. The best thing that I see here is this AK-47, so I'm going to go ahead and take that and then grab the cinder block again.
Hold up. Stay away from the door. Do you have a shot?
At this point, you have to drop the cinder block again.
Take two. I'll take the other.
Clear.
This way.
Neutralize those targets. Make sure you remember the cinder block that you dropped, where you dropped it, because there's another cinder block right there that you cannot pick up, and sometimes the cinder block that you drop can bug out and get stuck on that cinder block.
Talk to your contacts.
We have the explosives. Your sacrifice will not be in vain.
At this point, it'll make you automatically drop the cinder block because it wants you to pick up the throwing knives, and it also gives you the option to take a shotgun, plus it wants you to conceal your weapon. Now, you conceal your weapon and then pick the cinder block back up, and if you stay to the left, then you should be alright.
War crime.
Punisher. Stolen gas. Barker blames us for stealing it.
And you kind of want to walk quickly, but not sprint through this area so you don't draw attention to yourself. Not that the guy carrying a cinder block isn't suspicious at all. And at this point, you're going to be prompted to go up the ladder. Now there is also a doorway over here. So what you want to do is you want to drop your cinder block right about there in the path of that doorway. And you want to remember that doorway. Now we can go ahead and go up here and make our way to the helicopters, which are our current objectives. So as long as your weapon is concealed, you can go in here and get a better optic. There's actually two of them, so you can have a optic on your AK and an optic on your pistol, and just conceal your weapon again. Use your throwing knives. If you want a different weapon, you can pick up a different weapon.
Silence your weapon. It's our best chance.
Now, because of the fact that I already have a silencer on my weapon, I don't need to use a different silencer. But if you want, you can get another silencer right here. It doesn't really matter. It's mainly if you just changed your pistol out for something else. Or if you want, you can put it on your AK, because for some reason the oil can also just magically fits on the AK. Which, if you do that on harder difficulties, it does make it a hell of a lot easier. Now be very careful, because there's plenty of cinder blocks that you can pick up on purpose or accidentally, and you definitely don't want to put another cinder block that is not your cinder block in your hands. Otherwise you will not get the achievement. And you can see where both helicopters are. There's going to be one right above me. We just have to take our time in getting to it. And the other helicopter is over there. Hopefully you don't miss your knife shots like I did. If you miss your knife shots, then it gets a little hairy. And they'll probably insta-kill you on a higher difficulty. But there's basically 3 enemies there. Go ahead and plant the explosives here. Since we know where the other helicopter is that we have to get to, we can just go across the building like this. I'm going for speed, so it doesn't really matter. I'll keep my weapon out. I don't care if I get spotted. Usually 2. Sometimes you get these couple extra reinforcements if you get spotted. That's why it's better to go quietly.
Clear. These oil filters work well. Regroup on my...
Alright. Then you have to regroup, which is super easy because you can basically just run and jump off the roof and come over here.
We're clear. It's time.
And then you walk inside.
Low.
And of course she wants you to detonate the explosives. Now we jump back down. And we grab our friendly cinder block. Hook around up here.
Take the left. Hold your fire.
And we crouch.
Look, it worked. Troops on the base are rushing into the bed.
Now the reason why I put that cinder block so close to the door is you only have a very short time window to get it and run up here without being seen.
Take them out left. Cut! Under the truck.
So then we follow
More incoming.
our very friendly NPC here. You have to go prone. Luckily, you can crawl with the cinder block.
A parting gift for when they return.
How generous of you.
A shame to miss the show, but we have to get on with our attack before it's too late.
Now this part gets a little hairy, basically because you can't shoot.
The tunnel under turning.
And this is about as quick as you move, even sprinting, carrying this cinder block.
Shit!
It might take you a couple tries to get this done because you can get killed at that part since you don't move very quickly. Right up here is where you're going to get the Play Dead achievement. So as soon as you enter this area, go ahead and drop the cinder block and get ready.
Alex, get down. Hide your gun.
And then make sure that you neutralize that entire group. If you need to, switch to your other weapon and you will get the achievement called Play Dead.
Very efficient.
As long as you kill all of these enemies here and don't let a single one of them slip away, you'll get the Play Dead achievement. A couple of my friends said that they didn't get it when the NPC took out a few enemies, but I didn't have that particular issue at all. I was able to get it no problem. I just put the difficulty down to recruit and it wasn't an issue. And then we just vault over these walls right there, maintaining a nice grip on our cinder block.
Stop. Shit. Tarek's door is open.
Where's Tarek?
Dead. He would never abandon his post. Let's go. Clear. Let's head down. Get to Hadir.
And then you take the cinder block and kind of drop it, making sure it goes down the ladder. And then you can follow it.
That is the cost of this war. Now let's take Barkov's airbase so their deaths are not in vain.
We're in for a hell of a fight.
So are they. Hadir has a plan.
At this point, you'll get the screen going black so that you can go into the very next mission and your achievement will unlock. Now you are in the mission Proxy War. So at that point, during that black screen, you should get the Companion Block achievement. You will notice, as I showed earlier, I already have that one unlocked. If you do not get the achievement by that point, then you will probably have to go back and replay through, making sure that you follow the exact steps that I do to maintain only carrying or ever touching that one block from the very beginning of the mission. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did and it was helpful, make sure you leave a like on it and share it with a friend, as that greatly helps me out with the searchability of videos here on YouTube. Until next time, stay frosty.